Yesterday I encouraged you to read from the 6th chapter of Luke, verses 27 to 36, and we're just going to continue today with verses 37 to 42. And the verse of the day is verse 37, where Jesus says, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." I want to start with a brief story. Have you ever misplaced or lost something, as I said in a recent sermon, and not only did you do that, but then you accuse somebody of taking the thing that you lost? For example, I happen to play in a 35 and up wood baseball bat league here in the Cape, and the other night at our game, one of my teammates, who was in fact our starting pitcher, right before the game, he was walking through the dugout and he was saying, "Someone took my hat." So what do you hear in that statement, right? There's an accusation. There's a judgment. Someone took my hat. Well, someone who wasn't in the field loaned him their hat for the first inning, and then when we were back in the dugout, he was again saying, "I can't find my hat. I don't know what happened to my hat." Well, I happened to warm up with this person before the game, and I said to him, "Hey, when we were warming up before the game, you weren't wearing a hat." And then someone else said, "I haven't seen you with a hat." And then, embarrassed, he said, "Oh my goodness, I think I left it in my car." And in fact, he had. What's the point of this story? It is so easy and so happens so quickly that something happens and we make a judgment about another person. And often that judgment is mistaken. I'm sure you can think of examples in your own life where perhaps someone made a judgment about you that wasn't in fact accurate at all. We all do this. And it's part of learning to mature and to train our brain and our approach as followers of Jesus, not to judge or to immediately assume or think the worst about another person or a situation. Tell yourself, "I don't know the whole story." In our technologically driven age, with so many people in the media and social media rushing to be the first person to report a story or to say something, so often there's a rush to judgment that after a day or so, or even a week, all of a sudden there's we jump to a conclusion that proved to be false. Jesus says 3 things. Don't judge, and you won't be judged. Don't condemn, and you won't be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. All of these assume a posture where we assume or think the best about another person, and we offer forgiveness freely, even as we want to be freely forgiven.